All right, welcome back to the hangar. So, a little update here. Working on doing the pipe and the engine mount. I have drilled all the holes for the motor and the pipe mounts, which are all in the forward section. But before I put the pipe and everything together, I had to get the elevators and rudder light or servo leads ran and secured and protected. So my method is kind of a combination of three, and I kind of do this because it's the lightest. And I did some tests back in like 18 on what would work the best. And you know, ultimately you're just trying to protect it from residual heat, because if a pipe collapses and this thing catches on fire, there's not anything you're really going to do to protect it, unless you do some crazy heavy, flame protecting type materials that are pretty thick and things like that. So what I did was I take aluminum tape with a ceramic blanket. I really like the ceramic blanket. It kind of, based off when I was testing it, between the ceramic blanket, ceramic paint, and aluminum tape. And I didn't really do any testing with like the sleeve stuff because it just wasn't readily available. But the best that I found was the ceramic blanket with aluminum over it to kind of hold it. So you cut a strip, kind of like I have right here. You cut a little strip of ceramic blanket and then you secure it with the aluminum tape. And even when you clean the mold release stuff and the wax out of this stuff, a lot of times it won't stick. So what I usually do is, after I do a good cleaning on it, I'll run some CA along the edges and just tack it down, and that really holds it. So that's kind of what I've done. I've got the rudder coming at the top there. Let's see, does the laser pointer show up? Not real. You can kind of see the laser. Yeah, no. Let's just turn that off. Turn the laser back off. Okay. So I've got the top one there, which is the rudder, and then one stab, and then on this side is another stab slash elevator. This one really doesn't have stabs. I keep saying stabs because it's a jet thing, but they're elevators because it doesn't have a full flying stab. It's a traditional kind of setup. So, but that's really all I've done. And now that that is in, I can mount the pipe and the motor and join the fuselage. You can kind of see I've already drilled the holes there for the pipe mounts on both sides. I've already got the holes drilled, and I already kind of ran some screws in to tap the engine rail mounts there. And I did glue on those extra pieces just to kind of give it some extra bite because the servos were so close to the edge. Didn't really need it, but it's there just in case. And I'm using these, they're not Allen, or they're not metric, they're a, what is this? It's a 3/32 screw ball end, and that's what I'm going to secure everything with some washers. But that's really it for this video. I'm going to, well, let's see, what are we doing here? Okay, let's just do this. Let's start doing some live action stuff here. Let me get my phone on, that way you guys can see what was going on. But use guest pro. Yeah, it's not going to show footage, but anyway. So the hardest part for this was getting the pipe in. I had to put it in this way first because this seemed to be a little too tight, but it's not the case. You just got to work it properly. And I did a boo-boo, kind of made me sick. I had this thing sitting kind of right here where this is at, and it was a little close to the edge, and it fell off and cracked. It's hard to see, but there's a crack on this little edge here. Nothing major. Little thin CA in there, and it's fine. I have a crack and some chip paint. But I got lucky because it fell off and hit the floor. So, and what I found is because this is angled, it's easier, it works a lot better when you just kind of do it like this. I don't want to go having to grind and sand this back piece. See, this is why it was kind of hard going in. I may have to put it in from the other side because it's just not coming through. It's through, it's hitting over here. So see if I can walk it around. Oh, there we go. We'll just kind of keep walking it. See if I can, that's where this will kind of come in here. Yeah, see, it's this bottom piece. Come on, get through there. See, this is what sucks. Yeah, I might just end up taking the front off and coming in that way. Let's try it this side. Might be easier to go this way. Yeah, here we go. Get the bottom on first. There we go. All right, easy enough. It's real tight when you do it this way, but it's in there now. There we go. Bam. So, like I said, because this pipe, it would be nice to have this mounted to the rear section, and you could easily do that. It's just this pipe's a little long for it. Yeah, this is the part that always seems to take so long. Getting everything ran and figuring out where you want to put stuff. And I used to do like a lot of people, I would go crazy trying to organize and put all these cool looking things in to make it look fancy. But, you know, after a while, you just realize it's just extra weight and you don't see any of it anyways. Okay, so. And you do have to kind of go one side at a time because it doesn't fit any other way. All right. That's in. I'm just kind of putting these in for now. I'll go back and put them in. They have these real big beefy screws. There's 4 of them, 2 on top, 2 on bottom, and I think they have washers, but I haven't found them yet. Well, I take that back. I think this is the washers for that, but they have, I don't know if that's for the wings or what, but that's the only washers that I have. So I'm going to put my own washers when I do a final install, just to kind of spread the load on the wood and everything. So, but yeah, there you go. You can kind of see pipe's already kind of sitting where it wants to go, and I've already done all the alignment stuff like I talked about in the last video, so that's kind of it. And yeah, now it's just putting everything in and screwing it down, but I got to I'm gonna go find some washers and put those, because you got those bottom 2 bolts that have to go in on each side, and you can't get to them when the motor's in, so I got to go do that now. So I'm going to end this because it's getting about 10 minutes. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a little update, and that is the bulk of this. Once I get this in and everything secured like it needs to, it's just running the wires. I did bring the wires up to this point, as you can kind of see. That way I can remove the surfaces with, you can kind of, there you go, you can see that crack. Ugh, gosh, glad man. Usually you can push things back together and you don't see it, but that is, you know, an eyesore. But again, you won't really see it once in the air. I just hate to do that to a brand new model. Kind of sucks. Oh well, lesson learned. Got all this room, all these tables, and I trying to half-ass sit things when I'm building. Lesson learned. So, but anyways, you guys have a good one. I'll do another video real quick after this one, kind of showing everything finished, and you can kind of see here how far the pipe sticks out. You could use this pipe to do and make a mount in the aft section, so when you took the tail section off, the pipe would come with it, but the pipe that pushes the pipe out to about right here, which is completely fine because you have this overhang. I figured what I'm going to do with the overhang to protect it, to keep the heat from bubbling up the paint, is take some ceramic blanket and glue it in here. You could probably do ceramic paint, but I like the blanket better. And then I'll take my black heat protectant paint and hit it with that. So nothing crazy, just a little, and it may not even bother it, but I don't want to risk it and have it start bubbling paint from the heat, so I'll just go ahead and do it now. But that's it. You guys have a good one. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, thumbs up, thumbs down, all that good stuff if you want to. Tell a friend. Appreciate it. Cheers.